Okay guys, we are going to start with this little thing. We're going to remove all of the garland and we're going to turn it into something totally different. Alright, now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cut off all these little things that are going around that was holding on the garland. Okay, I'm going to stop there because I'm going to put a Santa hat all the way around this, so it's not going to matter if those are there or not. Alright, and I do want to hang on to the little hanger here. We'll just fold that to the back. And now for this, I'm going to grab a piece of felt. We're going to be hot gluing, and so I want something to glue to that's going to grab on instead of this plastic. So let's see here. We're just going to bring this up. Now I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue on here to try to grab on. We'll give that just a minute. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of make the shape of a beard. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Now I see I need to do a little bit more trimming up. Now I took some white poinsettias. I saw this on a YouTube video and I just loved it. I couldn't find the same poinsettias, but I was able to find some white poinsettias and cut all of the petals apart. And the ones that was used in the video that I watched had glitter on them. These were advertised with glitter, but when I ordered them and they came in, there's very little glitter on it. But we're still going to use them. This is going to make the beard. Now, I'm using hot glue, and so obviously this is going to be inside. I would never use hot glue and put anything outdoors because just the heat from the sun can loosen hot glue and it could fall apart. It's not going to weather well. But for indoors, it's fine. Now, if you wanted to do this for outside, though, what I would suggest is before you attach the piece of felt, you could either hand stitch these on, or you could even lay them down very quickly with a sewing machine, sew a row of them, and then go to your next row and on and on. So there are ways that you could do it that would make it more likely to last outdoors for you. But we're just going to start right now with building our beard. Okay, so we're going to start at the bottom of the beard, and we're going to start, bringing it into that point at the bottom. Like so, and we'll fill in and make the little beard. So I'm just going to put a little glue and we're going to lay this down. Then we're going to come over here and do the same. I'm going to put one right there. And you can see how I'm working my way all the way up. And so I'm not going to make you sit and watch me glue this many on. So I'll either speed it up or we'll jump ahead. So as you can see, we're just building our way up. So we'll continue. And don't worry if your poinsettias aren't in the best shape, because as you can see, you're stacking them. So even if they don't look great, that part of it you can easily cover with the next one. Like this one, for example. You can see how crooked and not great, but it's not going to matter. There's several of them like that. So we're just going to put that right there, and another one's going to cover up the bad part. If you can find the poinsettias with the glitter, I would highly recommend it. It really stood out. It was very pretty when it was done. Christmas is the time you can get by with glitter, right? And I am going to keep trying to figure out a way to add a little glitter to this one. I'm going to look for some spray adhesives that may have glitter in it, for example, just to hit it just a little bit. And of course, you may not even want glitter. You may want it just like this. That's okay too. Now, one thing I wanted to point out was like some of these that are, you know, sometimes your flowers get bent, the petals and everything where they were shipped. If they're not perfectly flat, you can always iron, but if you don't want to go through that, just stick you a little bit of glue there and stick that one down. I've done that to a few of them through here. And hit and miss doing that's probably a good idea anyway, so that when you store it, they're not getting misshapen. Okay, now you just want to take a look at it. Make sure that, you know, your beard shape has retained its shape. If it looks a little off, now is the time to go in and fix that. I think this one needs just a little bit more shape there. So I'm going to put some glue down and attach that. I'm going to hold it up and take a look at it. So you can see there, we have our beard. It looks pretty good. Now we're going to move on to the next step. We have a Santa hat. Now you can get one at the Dollar Tree. Any Santa hat's going to work. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is go in and glue the back. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to glue on this away from the fur right here. And then we're just going to make sure that we're even and flip this over and push it down. Now you can use scraps if you have quilt batting, polyfill, anything like that. We do want to give this a little bit of fluff. So our back is going to be laying flat against the wall. That's why we wanted to go ahead and glue that part down. The front, just like with the beard, it has a little bit of groove to it, a little 3D. So we're going to go ahead and put some stuffing in here. I think I said earlier, but I did want to make sure I told you, the little form that I had came from the Dollar Tree. But if you don't have a Dollar Tree near you, all you would really have to do is use some old boxes or cardboard you have laying around and just cut out the basic shape. And then, you know, you can either recycle an old hat or pick one up at, you know, Walmart. Any box store is going to have them. You can order them online, whatever you need. Or you can make one if you have an old tree skirt. Be a great way to recycle an old tree skirt. Now I'm just going to put a little stuffing at the top, not too much. We don't need a lot. We just want to give it some shape. Especially with this stocking, you want to be able to see the pretty stars that are on it, or snowflakes I think they're supposed to be. Okay, I think that's going to be enough. I'm going to go ahead and turn it around here so I can see it. Whenever I did the fall gnome, if you watch that video, you'll know I mentioned finding the mushrooms at the Dollar Tree. It's a 3-pack, and I took the top of the mushroom off because they're really nice noses for the gnomes. And so what I'm going to do is go ahead. Let me turn it back around so you can see. I'm going to be putting the nose in and gluing it down, and then we'll glue around the nose. Okay, and then you want to pull the hat down. Make sure my fold is where I want it to be. Still trying to keep it centered. I'm going to put some glue and pull it down to the nose, and I want it to really grab on before I start working with the sides. And you can have as much or as little of the nose showing as you want. You could have just completely attached it and then put the nose on the outside if you want. Some people like the big, like when I did the fall gnome, the nose is completely showing. I'm doing this one just to be different. I like to get it attached and then squeeze around it so that you see the nose sticking out, but not the entire nose. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the sides now. I'm going to turn it around so I can work on this side. it set up pretty good. It could have been centered just a little bit better, but that's okay. Okay, so now I'm going to lay this out of the way. But this is where we're at so far. Okay, now I'm going to want to do something with the hat. So let me pull it around here where I can see it a little better. Now, mine is really fluffy. You may not want to use as much stuffing as I did. It's going to be fine, but if it's floppier, you're going to be able to really maneuver it a lot easier. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm thinking I want it over to the side like this. Now you can either sew it or just use your glue. I may put a few stitches in it later, but for now we're just going to glue it. But we're going to use a lot. I'm gluing it right on the seam to also try to camouflage. Now bear in mind, if yours is not stuffed as much as mine, I put too much stuffing in, it's going to be floppier, and so you're not going to have that pressure of it wanting to bounce back from all the stuffing inside. So just keep that in mind. Go minimal on the stuffing, just enough to give it a 3D effect. And like I said, most likely I'm going to end up putting a few stitches in with a needle and thread later. And what I was planning on doing here was snipping a hole and pulling that ribbon hanger through that's already attached. But I think instead, since I'm going to be using a needle and thread and securing this just a little bit more, I'm going to go ahead and just sew on a little loop here to hang it with as well. But just know, because this is not anything that's going to be laundered or taking any wear and tear, you can most certainly just snip that and pull the hanger through. Okay, but he is looking really cute. I'm thinking I might want a little bit of an embellishment up here as well. Although in my case with this sequined cap, it's not really necessary, but it's Christmas, and if you're going to go over the top, this is one time you can do that. So I'm going to turn it back around here. Okay, so I found this little wintry pick and a couple of berries, so I'm going to just tuck this in. And I'll do the same with this. Pine would also look cute there. So here we go, and I will take a picture of it hanging up as well. But I hope you guys have a great week this week, and I'll see you back next week.